Hit him with the intro. Sutton.
I'm Sutton. That's John. This is the Self Care Disciples podcast.
We put out episodes weekly. You can find us on all streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, basically wherever you like to stream podcasts. And you can watch us on YouTube. Just search the Self Care Disciple podcast.
Hell yeah. While you're there, give us a follow, give us a download, do whatever you can. We got to appease them algorithm lords and give them all their gym jams.
They're Jim Jams. We'd also appreciate it if you give us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple. Make sure to turn on the automatic downloads. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and make sure to turn on those notifications for new episode alerts.
Sub it up. All right. Well, let's do our check-in and our merch update.
Let's get into the check-ins. Or do you want to do merch updates first?
Let's do the merch update first. What you got?
Okay. Finally, I'm making moves on the tapestries and banners. So
What?
Yeah, we're only 15 episodes deep. So
Sick.
that's what, 15, 16 weeks since I said I was going to order them. That's not too bad.
That's
So I
about
have
how
one more
long it took
file.
last time.
Yeah. I have one file left to prep, and then I'm pulling the trigger and I'm going to get the samples and I'm going to order them. After that, going to order the hats. After that, going to order some socks. After that, stickers. We'll see how long that takes. See you in 2028, I guess. That's when it's going to drop.
What kind of designs you got ready for some of this stuff? Like hit us with some inside scoop, dog. I'm interested too. I don't know. I
For
haven't
the
seen any of this shit other than 2 tapestries.
Yeah. So the tapestry one is a pickup of a design that's out now. It's the Devil in Disguise design, where it's a devil smoking a cigarette with a woman on the other side of the face. It's got a bunch of florals and skulls and stuff. Another one is the Abandoned Hope design with the skull and a portal.
The
And the
Dante
yeah,
Inferno. Yeah.
and the third one is an unreleased design that was specifically made to be a hanging pennant flag.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
The tattoo I got to do today was actually Dante's Inferno inspired. It was a hand holding like a lantern with a candle in it.
Oh, was that the
And the
one that
candle,
you sent me a picture of?
yes. Yeah, that was
Nice.
inspired by it. It was supposed to have something to do with the as above, so below thing. And I don't know what, but you probably would.
Nice.
I
That's
don't
cool
know.
though.
Yeah, it was cool.
What about your merch update?
I have one new print, and that is it. It features 2 Japanese fans with florals, and they're really cool. There's only 25. They are numbered and signed. They're $20 a piece. There's 20 of them left. I think 5 have sold. So they'll probably be on there for another few weeks before they sell out. So get yours now before you miss out.
No, I saw those fans. They're sick. Just like everything you
Thank you.
make, man. Everything you make is
Aw,
freaking awesome and gorgeous.
I so appreciate you. I actually got a compliment on those fans from someone that I look up to, and that was really cool. So I like them now too because he did.
Dude, that's the best feeling in the world, though.
It is when someone you admire is like, "Hey, what'd you do there?" "Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna do that." And you're like, "Please do. Tell them who sent you." "Hey, I stole this move from so and so." Now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think it's cool that they'll look at my shit and think, "Oh, I like that he did that. That's cool." Made him think, you know what I mean? This guy's been tattooing over a decade, and he got me into tattooing and did most of my tattoos. So it's super cool that he was like, "That's badass." Because I was like, "Yeah, I know you," and he's known me forever. So it's like it's really hard to impress the people that are in your day to day life because
Yeah.
they're so numb to everything you do. And if you're someone who's doing shit all the time, like me and you are, I'm not trying to toot our own horns, but we're constantly succeeding and celebrating victories. I feel like because we're constantly trying to do more, and set our sights higher, and doing it piece by piece instead of like giant step at a time. We're doing little baby steps, and they get used to seeing that. So when it's someone that you I don't know, in your day to day that you get to impress is extra cool to me. That's my
Yeah.
ramble. Sorry.
I don't know. My success rate is more like Sex Panther. 60% of the time, 100% of the time. You only hear
60% of
about.
the time, it works every time.
I mean, I only talk about like my successes, but there are tons of failures. But I try and appreciate the small victories.
Yeah. And I do think that since we've talked about it a couple times now, I do think that we should talk about that next. Like things
Failures?
that yeah, just our failures. So people know, hey, we fuck up a lot too. Like I don't think people look at us like successful people necessarily, but I think that people don't look at us as bums.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I mean, dude, you should hit him
so
with the Gary V impression. Do you got one of those?
oh, is that
Content,
that little
content,
guy who's
content.
just yelling all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Let me channel him real quick. Okay, this is what you fucking do. You wake up in the morning, you fucking film it. The moment you wake up, you fucking film it. Everything you do is content. Everything you do, you can sell. Monetize your life. You take a piss, monetize it. You take a shit, monetize it. Teach someone else how to do it. Feed a fish. Train a man to fish for other men, and then you'll fucking film that too.
I'm so happy I asked for that.
I don't know if that was good or not. I have no idea. Probably not,
Because
but it
I
was
mean,
fun.
I had to
It
put
was
myself on mute so I could laugh out loud.
fun. Well, it was fun. Um, I know who you're talking about though. He always has like inspirational videos of
Yeah,
him like cussing. And I remember there's one where it's like, "Why do you cuss so much?" He's like, "Why wouldn't I be my authentic self? I
yeah,
fucking cuss a lot. I fucking say fuck." You're like, "Okay, Ron Burgundy, fuck,
yeah, dude. All
never
those
fuck."
guys are just so intense. Like David
Yeah.
Goggins, Jocko. It's ridiculous. And now we have like the Andrew Tates and
Ugh.
what's that other guy?
Blech.
Jordan Peterson. They're just too many to pick from. It's like
Dweebs.
I want to look up like the statistics
And they're
of.
like true incels.
Yeah, dude. But it's like there can't be that many dudes out there without dads, right? Or like, are these dads just like so non-existent in these people's lives that we have to go to the internet to look for someone to look up to?
I don't know, man. That's kind of deep for me because
Sorry,
I have daddy issues. Maybe you
dude. So do
don't.
I.
Yeah, I know you do.
Dude, I fall
Uh,
victim to it too because like
yeah, no, I know. No, it's hard. I
I
know that
love Joe Rogan.
yeah, I know, right? And it's like, and if you don't know, if you didn't know you, and you'd hear you say that, and don't know much about Joe Rogan, you would probably think like that guy's a fucking idiot or something. You know what I mean? Because
Celeste.
the people's perception of Joe Rogan is different than what he actually is, because he just likes to argue with people on his podcast to keep the conversation going, and he says crazy shit in the process, and it's
Yeah,
funny, and he's just trying to like make you think and do shit. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about Joe Rogan every goddamn episode, but um
I'm gonna make sure
the
we do.
dude's podcast is fucking badass, and I like listening to it too. There's not every episode, but a lot of them I love.
Yeah,
um
they're hit or miss.
but what was I talking about before we started talking about that
Gary V
bald-headed
thing.
Gary V looking motherfucker? Oh, daddy issues. Yeah, we all have daddy issues. It's
I
hard.
mean,
It's hard being a guy
it is
without
hard.
proper guidance. Because like I had a dad growing up. I decided to stop talking to my dad like last year, and I've done this a couple times with him, but I decided because it's healthier for me. So I had him growing up and whatnot, technically, but he was an alcoholic, and he was a drug addict, and he was in and out of prison and jail. So I didn't really have him. He was just like present
Yeah, he's just there.
technically. But also I bounced back and forth between my mom's and my dad's house. So I have more guidance from my mom than I do my dad for sure. So yeah, you fall victim to like you see stuff on the internet that's like, this is how you be a man. Show no emotion. Make
Yeah.
sure no one knows what you're thinking. Stay 2 steps ahead. Never show your failures. It can like hear this like meme in the background, like pick art video. you know,
Yeah.
there's some rain. It's like things will get tough. And then there's like a mountain. It's like, but you have to keep climbing. And then there's like a sunset, and it's like because once you get to the top, it's bright again. it's
Dude,
fucking,
I just
and
came
you're
up
like,
with
hell yeah, that's fucking
uh,
sick.
here's a great side hustle. I'm gonna do the same thing. Like, there's a guy on YouTube who all he does is talk about stoicism, which is basically what you're describing of being like emotionless, staying calm, processing
Yeah,
things
stoic.
before you talk. And I'm gonna do one, but I'm gonna do it. It's gonna come off serious, but it's totally not serious. It's just gonna be
Oh god.
Confucius say, you know?
All right. Well, that is my merch update. Um, Confucius say, if you guys really want to see something stupid and slightly racist from me,
Come to
it's
my
on
house.
YouTube. And you say my mic is off?
No, I said, come to my house. You want to see something stupid and slightly racist? Come to my house.
Oh god, no. It's on YouTube, and you can search. You know what? I'll tell you what it is if you subscribe to our Patreon, motherfuckers. I ain't gonna tell you here. I ain't gonna tell you here, but it's cool. It's me doing something on my Snapchat like 10, 12 years ago, Captain's Log. And I'm just like doing an Asian accent, like a samurai accent. And I'm like, Captain's Log, day 4. And I'm in like the back alley of fucking wherever I'm working at the time, like drunk with my friends, just bullshit. And I'm like, I am at a new area called Winchester Field, Iowa, and just like saying all this dumb shit and being like, I cannot find any prostitutes. it's just
Bro,
walking around,
you might have just
huh?
landed yourself as the um the godfather of my unborn spawn,
Why?
because I have this like running joke that I tell people that when our kid is born, from the age of like birth to 15, I'm just going to have a Japanese accent. So they think that we're Japanese the entire time and not Chinese. And then by the time they're 15, it's just gonna be a huge mind fuck. Be like, oh, Lucas, where is the homework? Why is it
And he'll
not
be,
done? You know,
yeah,
just like,
he'll be
where's
like,
the Bushido?
I, 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 I'm sorry, and you'll be like, it's fine.
Yeah. So
He's
if I
like,
have
what?
like Lucas-san, this is your uncle, you know,
Oh man, you
Sutton-san,
suck doing a Japanese accent, don't you? You sound like
ohayou
Arnold
gozaimasu.
Schwarzenegger. Oh my god, it's actually pretty good. But no, that character's name is Yumagi-san. Okay, so Yumagi,
Mhm.
and you would say Yumagi-san.
Mine is Owatashi Tayam.
Oh, Tashi time. That's just you. Oh, Yumagi. Oh, Yumagi. So, there's a part in that skit. It's basically just a skit of me playing this character, and there's a part in it where we kidnap one of my friends and take him to Taco Bell, and then he knocks me out and takes my phone, and his character's called Regular Guy, and he's like, Regular Guy's log," and he's just like, "I think this big Japanese bastard aims to eat me," and all this shit, and then eventually, it ends with me just like passed out because I drank too many 40s.
Before we get canceled, you should probably plug your Japanese book.
Oh yeah. If you go to laboroflovebook.com, I have a Japanese book of over 50 artists all over the world, Japanese Flash. It's on pre-order right now. You can go check it out. Anyways,
Don't cancel us. It's a joke. Take a joke.
it's a joke. It's okay. I can do it because he's here. That's how that other guy gets by with it, right? The redheaded guy, because he's got
Yeah.
Bobby Lee.
Yeah, but I don't know how like because I'm not Japanese. I don't know how much that I can sway that, right?
Yeah, but Josh is. He's one of my best friends.
There you go.
Sanction. I got
Uncancelable.
Japanese sanction right here. What's up? You guys got anything to say? You hit up Josh Stevens at Sakura Tattoo in Winchester, Virginia. I'll give you his address and his phone number and his social security number.
All right, let's get into the check-in. You want to go first?
No, you go first.
All right. So I've been running off of some crazy energy this week. Uh, I don't know where it's coming from, but uh, the only area where it's lacking is my day job. Like I have no energy to do that stuff. But in terms of the podcast and doing the stuff that I really like, I've just been off the damn chart, just pumping ideas out, using my project management software to keep on track. Like after tonight, after our recording tonight, I gotta finish up some reels for tomorrow because it's a time sensitive thing. But I
Boy, you
think
crazy.
I was having like a introspective moment while I was working out because I've also been just like that same energy has been translating at the gym, and it's like a hateful energy. And I think it has something to do with something that happened to Celeste and I on Friday. So last Friday, I get out of work, right? And Celeste and I have plans to go out to dinner, just kind of like an impromptu date night. So she and I, we get dressed up, we go out. Hair is all did. She looks fucking cute. We make it a block, and there are these kids. Like I call them kids, but I think they might have been in their early 20s.
Street youths.
Sure, street youths. So we're walking on the street, and um, I'm just kind of doing my regular thing, just trying to be socially aware and of my surroundings. And I notice that these kids are fucking around. They're just kind of, messing around on the street, having a good time. Next thing you know, I see this one guy push another guy, and he's looking directly at Celeste. He pushes the guy towards Celeste. So I intervened, and I step in front of Celeste, and I grabbed the guy and I shoved him so hard he went and hit this glass partition to a bus stop,
Okay.
and also fell into his friends. I think it was two girls, three guys. It just happened
Sounds
so
deserved.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had like a little scuffle, and he started talking shit to me. He said something like, Celeste told me after the fact, she was like, did you hear what he said to you? I'm like, no, honestly, I was just seeing red at that point. Like I was going to like give this guy a fucking dirt nap. But she said that he said something along the lines of, "Yo, dog, why are you so sturdy?" I don't know what that means. Have you ever heard that term? Was
Why are
this
you
internet
so
speak?
sturdy?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean?
And
Like, 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 does did he not expect you to be able to throw him the way you did? Did that catch him off guard?
it
Is that what he
definitely
mean?
caught
Like,
him off guard because
yo,
he was
why are you so sturdy? That's the only thing I could think of in that
Celeste.
situation. Because what
Celeste
the fuck does
literally
that mean?
thought that too, that he was being literal. Because when
Yeah,
he was getting pushed over, it's not like he was trying to stop. He was part of the joke, right? And it was going to be at our expense. And
yeah,
dudes, this is why you make sure that your significant other is on the inside of the street. You're on the outside,
exactly.
parallel to the street, because you don't know what kind of stupid shit can happen.
Whoever in the relationship feels like the more dominant one, make sure you're protect. If you're the protector, go by that rule.
Yeah. So that happened. And he was like trying to intimidate me after the fact. Meanwhile, I pushed him so hard that he and his friends went down like a fucking like bowling ball pins. So before I even knew it, my jacket's off, and I and he was reaching into his jacket for something. And so I just kept walking him down. His friends didn't like they didn't want anything to do with this at this point. And Celeste, normally Celeste is the peacekeeper, and she's the one who can like settle me down. But for once, she just kind of let me go, which was a little scary.
She
And
understood the situation,
yeah,
but also was just kind of like probably shocked, like
well, this isn't
stuck.
the first time stuff like this has happened before.
I mean, yeah, you live in New York City.
Yeah, but it's never been this. We've never been in this type of situation before, where I actively had to like protect Celeste or
Yeah,
felt
like
the
face to
need to
face.
protect Celeste. And I don't even remember the words that we exchanged. I remember calling him out like, "What are you reaching for in your jacket?" or something like that. Meanwhile, I'm just continuously just walking him down. And um I don't know what I said. I said some crazy shit. But at that point my brain was just going blank and all I could think about was violence.
You'll
And
pretty much say anything you can to scare them enough to just leave.
it wasn't scare though. Like that's
Oh,
the
that's what
scary
I would
part
do.
about it
I'll just say
because
shit to scare the fuck out of them.
I told him I remember telling him dude, I don't remember, but in my mind I was telling like something switched on in my head where like no matter the outcome, like my need to protect my wife is probably stronger than whatever little ego thing that just went on in your brain that uh someone shorter than you just pushed you as hard as he did.
Yeah,
And like I don't condone violence, but if violence is necessary,
I
I
condone it.
am a full-blown supporter of it. And I was either going to break this dude's hand, like stomp the shit out of this dude's hand, or I was gonna put him in the hospital. That was gonna be the only two options here.
Well, then there's only one option because if you stomp a motherfucker's hand, he's going to the hospital. You're breaking something. Hands aren't very strong. If you stomp one on a street like that, oof. Especially, what kind of shoes were you wearing?
Oh, my standard Vans, bro.
Yeah, you got like you've worn those the most in your life. You have like the ultimate stance in your Vans. You feel like most comfortable. You're like, oh yeah, you'd be like Jackie Chan, fucking chopping through four boards with your Vans, but it's just his rib cage,
Yeah, I
or in
mean,
this case, his
I'm going
metatarsals.
flat-footed, so there's no padding. But yeah,
Oh my
like even
god.
talking about it,
Yeah.
I'm getting like a little hot,
Yeah,
a little
no, yeah, your
spicy.
blood boiling some.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I literally want to cause this person pain, 100%. Uh, Complete disregard for his well-being. And
I'm sorry that happened to you, man. I had no idea.
but
That's awful.
afterwards, like Celeste was proud of me because I was able to de-escalate. Like even though I was walking him down and his friends were gone, that's how you know you have shitty friends. When you started beef with someone and you don't hang around to finish it. Like that's really fucked up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Bitches.
So um Celeste was really proud of me at that and she did tap like I did reach for my concealed fixed blade, but Celeste tapped me on the hand as I was reaching for it, and I knew to stop.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, you're right, baby. I don't need that for this fucking idiot."
Yeah,
But
that's in case of emergency, but in those situations, man, sometimes you feel like maybe this is that time. You never know when it's, like, past. It's a fine line, you know what I mean?
yeah, but Celeste afterwards was, she was definitely shocked, and she was trying to de-escalate afterwards. Like she just kept on talking about our plans for tomorrow to try and settle me down without having to tell me to calm down, right? Which was I thought was so smart and so thoughtful because it really did calm me down.
That's
Because
awesome.
after that, I was on such high alert, thinking that I would get jumped from behind, some like real, you know, cowardly shit. Uh, but she also like told me that like like it was scary how hard I pushed him. I didn't realize how hard I pushed him. I just knew that I had to intervene. and she told me that I pushed him really fucking hard. And this dude was at least 6 foot tall. So now she's like a full blown supporter of the working out because
It'd be like
it's
pushing
paying
me.
dividends.
Be
Hmm?
like you pushing me. I'm almost 6'3".
Yeah, but I would never push you
But you know what I'm saying?
unless on the
Like, I
back.
mean, uh, oh man, you just made my mind go blank there, Johnny boy.
It's the hair,
Um,
bro.
what was I fucking saying? Oh, um, I don't think we have any pictures of us like standing side by side, but
There's
we have a couple pictures of us doing like hard style.
there's a picture from after Memorial Brooklyn. You have that picture.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think I'm like towering above you because you're not short.
I'm 5'8" on a good day.
Yeah, you're not short. You're an average height, so I don't tower above you. But my friend like Logan, for example, he's like 5'3", and I tower over that motherfucker. And um, my little sister, my buddy Tom's wife, I call my little sister because she's the best. Jess, she's like five. I think she says she's 5'1.5",
That's what
or
Celeste says
she's
too.
5'2 3/4", or some shit like that, right? Something adorable. And I always make fun of how short she is. But there's a picture of us on their wedding day of me because I was in their wedding. Me dressed up, sitting next to Jess, and not only do I look like 5 times the size of her, but my head alone is like 3 times the size of her head. So it's like you're looking at like Native American girl, caveman. It's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Well, dude,
And
you were
she is
towering over
native,
Celeste.
so it's even funnier. Like you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? It's like the fucking the cowboys and Indians, but I'm just like the idiot. Just like I'm in the wedding, right? Oh my
Well, when
god.
you came to New York and you
I
met
was so
Celeste,
lucky to
like,
get to be in there.
dude, you were so much taller than Celeste because you've seen her. She's
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah, she's
So
tiny.
I
Dude,
feel the
she can
need
drink anybody under the table though. It's kind of crazy.
a little bit. Yeah. But
Yeah, it's wild. I didn't think she could keep up with us like that, but you ended up browning out. She didn't even brown out.
let's not bring that up, bro. It wasn't my finest moment.
We should talk about that one night for a like a quick episode or something.
Yeah.
Um, our escapades. Let's see both of our recollections and combine them and see what we remember because it's a
So
blur for me. It's been like 2 years at this point.
that's the thing about me is like I only consciously black out. Like motor skills, motor wise, I'll black out. But I remember everything of that night
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much.
Well, that's perfect because I don't. Um, well, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm glad that nothing else came from it,
Yeah.
and I'm very happy that you're all safe because that's scary.
Yeah.
I've
I
never had
am
something like that happen with a significant other.
right.
I've been at some shows where people tried to pull some shit, and at a couple parties where people tried to pull some shit, and you just kind of like, I just kind of have to like look at them and be like, no, and they're like, okay, they just look up like, yes, sir. But yeah,
Yeah, dude. But I'm also just super proud that I actually stepped in and we know now that I can definitely defend or protect Celeste because that's also the main reason why I've been working out so hard and training so hard with the
yeah, you want to
kickboxing.
know.
Yeah, and I was able to test it out, like not like intentionally, but the reflex wise, it was 100% there. So very proud of myself for stepping up, and
No,
also
yeah,
very
dude,
proud of myself for de-escalating. Because normally, once I stop, like there is no stopping.
I'm proud of you too because it is hard to turn it off once you turn it on. Um, there's there's been a few times at the shop that I've had to pop off on some people, not that work here, just people around here that were like causing the shop ill will, and I don't allow that. And I have to like pop off and then cool myself down because there's fucking clients. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'll go outside, scream someone's head off, come back inside, and I'm like, hey, Jackie, I'm going to go over to HQ and hang out for a minute and have maybe a safety meeting or two. She's like, okay, I'll come join you in about 5. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. We need to go over the new addendums, the new safety manual, you know. She's like, yeah, I'll be over.
Yeah. No, it's important to have a kill switch, like something where enough is enough and just drop it. So,
Yeah.
and in the past I have not been that good about controlling my emotions. So, and I used it as workout fuel that night and had like one of the best fucking raging workouts ever. And I've still been using it as pre-workout, which is awesome. And I hope I can keep it up. Just
Do you just like think about it before you go work out?
it actually happens like mid workout where
You just
I'm
start thinking about it and you're like, ah, fuck you guys. I'm going to
starting,
kick your
yeah,
dicks.
like I'm starting to fatigue a little bit. And then randomly the thought pops up of having to defend Celeste, to defend her honor. And
Ba-ba-da-da. There can
and
only
and
be
then it
one.
just like it's on, and I just push through that shit. So
Hell
now I'm
yeah.
like even more determined, and now the goal has now become realistic, where I'm not gonna drag um billionaires out of their houses. I'm just gonna drag a regular person's face on concrete.
Okay. That
Yeah,
sounds fun.
I'm just gonna
Um,
create a bucket list of fucking
well,
people
I'm
up.
proud of you too. I like that. Um, something you're proud of, something that you practice for self care. I mean, that's pretty
Um,
much
I
both.
think it was just lumped into all of that.
Proud of yourself and doing your gym thing.
I am proud of
But I'm
myself
not going to
for
answer for you.
I am proud of myself for being an adult, and talk and having a grown up talk with my wife about miscommunication that didn't end up as an argument. So that's a first.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
What about you,
Well,
man? What's your
I
check in?
am proud of you for being early with the podcast and editing, not only on time, but literally early. He was like, make sure you get on my ass about this. And I was like, okay. And then the day of, I didn't even go on his ass. He was just like, I'm going to fucking do this. I was like, all right. And he just kept doing it. So I'm proud of you for that. I know I don't normally start it off with like something I'm proud of you for, but I kind of like that.
Oh, thanks, man.
Um, and my check in, let's see. I've been really happy with my tattoos. Last 2 tattoos I've done, some of my favorite tattoos I've ever gotten to do. Um, and they were both large scale. So I think I might try to figure out some kind of pricing or something where I offer more large scale at a reasonable rate for people for a little bit so that I can show people what I'm capable of with large tattoos because it's really rewarding as an artist to be able to start and finish something big as fuck in one session or even multiple sessions, but like just finishing that giant fucking piece is so gratifying. And as artists, um, what we crave the most, I feel like, is the gratification from ourselves of I'm proud of this piece of artwork. I created this from my head entirely and here it is in the physical realm. Check it out. And then if other people like it, that's even better. And certain people, liking it is even better than other people and whatever. And you can get all into the nitty gritty detail, but really we're looking for that gratification from ourselves, or we should be. If we're not, then that's where you should start. If you don't like it, then don't expect other people to. Because why the fuck? Who cares if you don't like it and other people do? Who cares if you made that? You didn't make that for you. You made that for them. And that's what a lot of people I see in tattooing do is they go down this path of I gotta please the consumer, which is fine. But like if you want to be an artist, like you're gonna have to get that gratification from yourself. And I get that gratification from myself by doing the regular tattoos that come in the door and the super fun ones. Um, I try to embody that Tim Beck spirit of tattooing is a service and I'm here to provide that service. I'm an artist, but I don't always have to be doing my art. I can just be providing art. And the perspective is different for each client. So,
Yeah, I guess it's I think you posted this, like, are you a tattoo artist or are you a tattooer? You know, because there are some people who are great tattooers, but they're like, I don't want to say they're bad artists, but the like technical skills of being a tattooer supersede their artistic abilities, like
so,
their drawing
and
abilities.
what I actually meant by that, you may have taken it a little differently because I meant it kind of from a tattooer's perspective. And I said, are you tattooing or are you a tattooer?
Hmm.
And the difference is a tattooer is making art for themselves and for people. Someone who's tattooing, it's a job. So
Yeah.
they're either doing it for themselves or for someone else. It's never both. Um, People that are tattooers know color theory, practice all kinds of mediums. They have that bedside manner where they can like converse with their clients. They give back to the trade, the craft, the art, because it is all three
Yeah.
in that tier: trade, craft, art. Trade, walk in. Craft, walk in, but I want my mom's name and this color flower. Art, walk in, do whatever you want. That's the difference between those three.
Yeah.
It's
Like, are
just,
you a
I learned
lifer?
that
Are
in
you a
cooking.
jobber?
Yeah, I learned that in cooking. So you can look at it like this from a layman's perspective. Trade, flipping a burger. Craft, going to Five Guys. Art, Wagyu burger. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Fine dining.
Yeah.
So you've got Fazoli's, Olive Garden, and your 5-star Michelin.
Well, 5-star Michelin is debatable because Olive Garden is family.
When you hear your family. Actually, I wanted to say thank you, Steve Zimmerman, for listening to our sixth episode. I think it was our sixth episode, the Protect Your Neck episode. He messaged me the other day saying that he listened to it and that he loved it. And he listened to the whole thing and he said, when are we going to have a Olive Garden flash day followed by an Olive Garden dinner? And I was like, next time we're in North Carolina. And he was like, word. So I'm gonna hold you to it, Steve. We're gonna have it family style. He said, "When are we gonna do this shit family style?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" But anyway,
That's awesome.
um, so anyway, I, I I'm trying to embody that Tim Beck spirit, like I said, and do like be able to do all three. So um, I'm just really happy of the tattoos I've gotten to do lately. I'm happy with them personally, and my clients were super happy with them. And you know what? The last two tattoos I did, um, like well, the last one I did was actually the raffle winner, which Ash Orr. I want to let me pull up their Instagram because I think I have his name wrong. Hold on. Yeah, Ash at Appalachian.cryptid. Um, they are part of the. I want to say it's the Trans Alliance in Morgantown, and uh, Diggy booked them for a Game Boy tattoo, and then did a chest piece on him like, I don't know, 2 weeks later or something. And they noticed in our bio that it said LGTBQ plus. It's so hard to say that for me sometimes because I have mush mouth.
LGBTQIA plus.
Yes, the alphabet soup, as my friends would say. Yes, uh, they noticed that on our profile it said that we were friendly for everyone in safe space, trans friendly, and it said Black Lives Matter on there and all this. And they're like, I've been looking for a shop around here that actually like advocates that, not just like, when you're there talks about it. You know what I mean? So that was really cool that we had them as a client in general, and then bam, they win the fucking raffle. And here's the coolest part about that. Guess when they bought their tickets, John?
When did they buy their tickets, Sutton?
The last fucking day of the raffle.
Dude, I love that. I love that.
I haven't done one yet this episode, so I had to. But yeah, the last day of the raffle, they did buy the 5 ticket bundle, which got you 7 tickets. So they spent $50. So technically, they tipped me a significant amount today, which I was extremely, extremely surprised by because it's a free tattoo. So I wasn't expecting anything. I was just
Right.
super happy to get a tattoo and something that big, something fun. But yeah, so they technically paid a good bit for it. Um, but man, I'm telling you what, it was the most fun I've had tattooing in so long. When you're doing a tattoo and the money's not involved, is when it's the most fun. When you're doing trades, when you're tattooing another tattooer, when you're doing shit like that, that's what gives you life. Um, which kind of brings us into our topic. But I'm gonna skip that and uh, say something I'm grateful for and something that I did for self care. Something I'm proud of and something I did for self care.
You've been
Something
sleeping
I'm
good.
proud of. I have gone to bed early the last 2 nights because I was so tired that I just went to sleep. Um,
That's good that you're
something
listening
I
to your
did for,
body.
I mean, that's something I did for self care. That's not necessarily something I'm proud of because I wanted to stay up and draw. And I actually wasn't as prepared today as I wanted to be for that appointment with Ash because I had it drawn up. And then this morning I decided to completely redraw it because I hated it. I didn't like anything I did. And that is why I always fucking draw the day of because I'll change it otherwise. I'll
Yeah,
look at it too much and I'll be like, no, I hate this. If I don't go with my gut, I fucking hate it. So I did make a way better version. I'm proud of it. But I didn't have a color study ready for them when they got there, which I don't always do that. But for big pieces, I really like to do that so they can see, like, I'm putting something 10, 12 inches on you tall and like 5, 6 inches wide. It's fucking huge. It's the size of my goddamn head. I got a big ass head, guys.
I thought you were going to
Um,
say something else.
shit.
It's the size
We've
of
if you
my.
listen to our other episodes, you know damn well that I'm just packing something like a schmedium Glock. Uh, like a SP 007 SP. You know what I'm
Isn't that
saying?
like the thing that's like the tiny little guy?
Yeah, yeah, the tiny little guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was
Or
expecting
or you could
like
or hey, we could say, or if you want to say, we could say it's the golden gun because it's not huge, but goddamn, it only takes one bullet.
finish. It'll
Goddamn.
only take one shot to finish you, and he never
Mhm.
misses.
Biscuits and mustard. Anyways, so they asked me for the Dante's Inferno inspired piece. They said they wanted like a classic lantern with a candle, some flames. There was one reference they sent with a hand, one they sent with like a face. I chose the hand. They liked the hand better. Also, and then I threw a moth in there, threw some flowers in there because I got to throw some fucking flowers in there. I want to be the flower daddy. I want to be that guy. So
Dude,
I'm trying to be that guy.
you're on your way to becoming the flower guy and flame guy. I like all the flame stuff that you've been doing, especially because they're black. The
Thank you.
black
And
flames
yeah,
are
man,
awesome, bro.
the black flames are cool, and I've been wanting to incorporate stippling into my tattoo work, into my color tattoo work for a while now, and I just started practicing it again on a few larger pieces that I had ongoing. One was Morgan's back that we posted a couple episodes ago. There's a lot of stippling in there if you can see it in person. I didn't take the greatest pictures, but I can't wait to see it healed and take them. But anyway, yeah, I'm just proud of my tattoos lately, man. And it was not stressful. Um, the other tattoo I got to do was on Jackie's boyfriend Sean. We started his Japanese sleeve. We did a big ass Hanya with a couple cherry blossoms and some maple leaves. That was also a huge piece. Um, it's very fulfilling. It's great. So I'm proud of myself for getting those tattoos done in one session and getting the client through in one session, because that's an art as a tattooer. You have to like kind of be an empath to be a great tattooer. And I feel like to be a tattooer at all, you have to be an empath, because you got to be able to know how your clients are feeling. You got to be able to like see where they're at and know when to like, all right, this area down here, like for example, today, this area at the bottom of their thigh, because I was working on the back of their thigh and it was near the like knee ditch at the bottom part of the tattoo. And every time I got down there, he'd be like, "Oh fuck, this sucks." I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I'm sorry. Um, there's not much down here. Let me go ahead and bang this out." So you got to know like, all right, if this is the shittiest spot, I got to finish this spot up first and work my way to something else. You got to know what parts of the body hurt more, how long it's been since you lined, shaded, how much Bactine you've sprayed. All these things, they all go in and getting your client through it is an art, with big pieces. A quick banger sometimes is even hard for
Yeah,
like,
dude.
there's been times, I won't lie, there's been times where I've lied to a client and it was because they were naive enough to believe something silly, and it was like a little white lie. It wasn't anything serious. It was like someone's first or second tattoo and they come in and they're not sitting really good and they're getting like something really small, and I'm just like, I did a couple lines and you can tell that they're like, oh fuck, this is gonna suck the whole time. And then out of nowhere they're like, oh, what's that on the top of your glove? And it's A&D, but I said, oh, it's numbing cream. I used this while I tattoo. So after I wipe it on and then I tattoo you, and then that part will start going numb as I go to the next one. He was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And then placebo effect kicked in,
Yeah,
and this
man.
guy's like, "Dude, can you use some more of that numbing cream for me? Can you put some more on?" He's like pointing out spots that hurt, going, "Can you put some on that spot for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, dog, I got you." And I'll just like rub a little, like I just like rub my paper towel over it or something,
Yeah.
and then like put some Andy there or whatever. And it totally works sometimes. I've done that twice, and I learned that trick from someone. I forget who. I want to say it was Wayne Fredrickson told somebody that as a joke, like, "Yeah, tell him it's numbing cream or some shit." And him and I like bullshit back and forth on Instagram here and there. Um, he's hilarious, and he shout out to him because he has a really awesome needle company that's doing great. He used to have a podcast that he's taken a hiatus on. He did a lot of vlogging back in the day and stuff. But if you don't know who Wayne Fredrickson is, you should look him up. He owns Unite and Win. He also owns, um, I think it's called like Tattoo You or something.
Oh,
Secret
it's one of the
Tattoo.
tattoo schools?
No, he doesn't own any tattoo schools. Um, what the fuck?
Oh,
I
I thought you
forget.
meant like tattoo you as in like university.
No, no,
I was
no,
like,
no,
hmm.
no. That's
Hmm.
not even the name of it. I think it's called like Secret Tattoo or something. And then he's opening up a third one right now. I just talked to him a couple nights ago, just like asking how he was doing and yada yada, and checking in. And he was opening up a new one, and it has a warehouse spot connected to it for Unite and Win um, Supply, which is his needle company, which is fucking, they're great needles. If anyone hasn't tried them out, try them out. Um, I highly recommend any of them. Really, their bolds are great for liners. Their mags are super sick. Really strong steel. Really, really good stuff. They're true to size. Anyways, enough about Wayne. Uh, he just did a lot of cool shit, and he deserves a shout out. But
Shout
I
out to
think it was
Wayne.
him that said that that A&D thing. So sometimes you gotta you know
You got to help the
white lie to
client get
get
into the
the
mindset.
naive customer through or whatever. Sometimes the
Yeah,
placebo through, but that's all I got for my check-in, really, man.
word.
Um,
You want to jump
I
into
think
the
that's
topic?
yeah. So the topic is we're gonna talk about like music and live music, especially, and how that can kind of rejuvenate you if you're a music lover and someone who grew up like craving music. Because I don't know about you, John. I do know about you. I'm just saying this for the listeners. Um, I don't know about you, listeners, but I fucking listen to music constantly. It's almost always on. One of the only times it's not is when I'm recording right now, when I sleep, and even then, sometimes it's on when I sleep.
Yeah. Dude, music
It's
is on almost 24/7 with
90% of
me
my
too.
life
Like I
has
think
music in it.
last episode I said you should live your life like it's a documentary about your life for you.
For you. I love
And
that.
I mean and I also like to live my life with a soundtrack, you know? Like
Damn right. Shout out to Jake Doney with his first book, Soundtrack to My Youth.
nice,
Sorry.
but it's actually so the reason I came up with this topic, right, is talking with a friend of the podcast, Julie, because she's been telling me about all the shows that she's been going to, or all the shows that you guys have planned. Right? I think it was after the Fallout Boy show that you guys went to,
I got
and
two more.
she was telling me about the Amity Affliction show, and that got me thinking, huh? If they're coming to PA, what are the chances that they're going to come to New York? So I looked
100.
it up. Well, not necessarily, because, dude, New York City, for all the music that has come out of here, has one of the worst scenes for alternative
But
music.
it's a it's a pretty large state as far as like the East Coast is concerned. So
Yeah, but,
it's actually a large state. It's just like it's large in the sense of cities and where people travel. You have way more destinations in New York than you do in PA. So you have
yeah,
better chances. So I see what you're saying though.
but most of the time, like, bands that I wanna see are probably playing, like, Amityville or somewhere upstate, which is still gonna be 2, 3 hours away for me. And this may be coming from, like, a point of privilege because, you know, I live in New York City.
City boy, city boy.
There should be no reason why, like, these bands are not coming here. But I know the reason why. It's because, like, they're not going to make as
It's
much
a pain in
money,
the
and
ass.
the turnout is not going to be as high as if they were going to play in New
Yeah.
Jersey or in upstate New York, in Albany, Buffalo, all those places. And because the scene here is dead. It really is. Every time bands that I like come to New York, I make friends with people who are unavailable. People who have commuted from as far as Pennsylvania to come see people, you know? And it just kind of sucks that New York City is so one-sided. Like, it totally leans to certain types of music and alienates uh, genres of music that were pioneered here in New York.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
punk
feel
music.
that.
Look, without New York, New York City and CBGBs, there
Yeah,
wouldn't be
it wouldn't have
American
taken
punk
off the way.
and hardcore. So
Yeah.
it just kind of sucks that it's kind of forgotten its roots. Not to sound like an elitist, but I'm just going to point that out there. But yeah, when Julie was talking about Amity Afflictions, I got so pumped up for some reason. I was determined to get tickets to go see Amity Affliction, especially when I found out who they were playing with. So it's Amity as the headliner, Currents as the co-headliner, then it's Dying Wish, and I believe Mugshot, and that is a fucking awesome metalcore slash hardcore show. So got the tickets, going with my buddy, um, and immediately I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited," because I've been looking for a concert to go to like this, where I can let loose, I can be a kid again, and I can throw down, stage dive, do all the shit that I like to do. So I've even told myself, bro, beginning of May, it's no fap. No fap, no sex. So I can go in there being the angriest and like the most agitated person in the pit.
You're just gonna be like,
What's up, motherfuckers? I haven't came in weeks. I've been
Yeah.
itching all day.
I'm ready to pop, and just punch a motherfucker in their face. Turn around,
Yeah,
and you're like,
bro.
you broke my grandma's neck. Yeah, whatever. Fucking bitch should have got out of my way.
The chaperone. No, dude, the merch.
Don't
Dude,
get in the pit, grandma.
I'm telling you right now, Dying Wish better have some shorts in the merch booth because I may cum my pants.
And if not, you may shit them.
That too. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go no fap for the month of May until the show.
Is your wife okay with that?
Uh yeah. It's this is self-care, bro.
You haven't talked to her about it.
I have not. I
Yeah,
have
I
not.
can tell.
But
It's
she
okay.
knows how much I love going to concerts and that like
How
it
much you
is
like to build your boners up for them?
yeah, kind of.
You fucking weirdo.
She loves like I'm sorry for the younger audience. I feel like I'm apologizing a lot on this episode. It's
Fuck
because people
them.
are so sensitive, right? Like
We
I
gotta
come from a
apologize for being ourselves. You're the one who's always telling me, "Fuck that."
that's
Just be
true. That's
true.
true.
Just be
Yo,
raw. Fuck them.
you're
Cunts.
right. You are right. But, there's a lot of talk about like crowd killing, and I come from like a generation of kids where like crowd killing is very acceptable, and I will crowd kill you. So that's the reason for the no fap is I am going in there and I am going to fuck shit up. Like that is my one goal is to have a good time, make sure people are safe around me, make friends, but I am going there for the casual violence.
I cannot wait until you watch this and see yourself go straight into corporate John fucking voice and mode and go to have a good time, blah blah blah, keep everyone safe, but I'm gonna fucking rip their dicks off. I just imagine those guys in the stands going, twist his dick! Give him the old dick twist! It's like, whoa, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude.
Grab his dick and twist it! Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude. This is too much. Twist that dick! Twist his dick!
Yeah, twist his dick! Oh, that's what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be fucking you're gonna be cracking heads and twisting dicks. That's the name of the episode right there.
Yep. I mean, I've had a lot of
I'm just
practice.
kidding.
So I've been
Oh
moshing
my
since I
god.
was 13 years old. I'm 36. I'm 36, right, Sutton? 36?
Yes.
Thank you.
Because I
So
called you a dumbass like 8 times.
that's 13 years of mosh, bro. One of my favorite places to go to shows is Pennsylvania. I've never seen a scene like that in my life. Like, I went to the championship to go see, fuck, who was it? It was like Stretch Armstrong or some hardcore band. And it was the most fun I've ever had, but it was also like one of the most violent shows I've ever been to. And I went to Philly to go see the Acacia Strain, And dude, that shit was fucking wild.
Push him back! Push him back! Open it up! Make him hug the fucking walls! This is pit or be pitted! This is survival of the fucking pittest!
Acacia. I fucking
Oh my
love them,
god.
dude. I want to see them live again so bad.
Dude,
So
you better do it soon because like even
I
though
know they're getting
Vincent
older.
is like almost that dude is like almost immortal now. Um, but like he's getting old. He's like 40 something, even though he's still kicking ass. But
Yeah,
when I went to see
but
them in Philly, he has some of the most hyped up pit calls. I remember he said it was I think it was before JFC. He said, "I want you to go look at the person on your left, then go look at the person on your right. I want you to go hug them, and I want you to go fuck them prison style." And then the song started, and everyone, like the whole place, just erupted. I've never
oh
seen
my
anything like that.
god! And then I want you to fuck them prison style. What does he mean? Like put a
Or I
shampoo
think he
bottle in
said
their
like
ass
love
and
them prison
stomp it
style.
in? Like
Yeah,
love them prison style. Oh my god,
it
that's
was
ridiculous.
nuts. But
Wow,
that's still like really on the tip top of shows I've been to. But
hell yeah,
let's talk
that's
about
amazing.
a live show that you've been to, like that you weren't really feeling it, right? Like you bought the tickets or the tickets were bought in advance and you weren't really feeling it, and then you went and afterwards you felt completely rejuvenated, like you just had like this love for life afterwards. Have you ever had that?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, there's not been very many times that I got tickets when I wasn't excited. Um, or like had tickets for a while and forgot or anything because I've been poor like most of my life, but I've been to a lot of shows. There's been, I want to say, probably when I was younger, man, like the old shows when you go to like a train station show for my Shepherdstown friends, which is just like a local venue, and you're like, oh yeah, let's see who's playing. And you wander there through town, because you heard there was a show. Yeah, I'll go. And then you go, and like every single one of your friends is there, and every single one of your friends is in the bands that are in the bands that are playing, and the sound quality is awful, but everyone is just vibing and dancing and hanging out and in the mood and just like chilling, man. Like all these people you went to middle school and high school with or whatever, those were the kind of shows that rejuvenated me as a kid. My buddy Tom, who I just talked about earlier, his wife Jess, the midget, he used to have shows at his house. It was the DTP house and Defeat the Purpose house. And I have a DTP Killer B tattoo right here. It's actually an ODB, so it's an old dirty bastard B. It's a Wu Tang Killer B, but it has DTP written in the vein of the wing. Josh
Is
Stevens
that
and
a
Sakura
band?
did that. Defeat the Purpose was Tom's band. He was the drummer. Um, Nick Jandora was the bassist, vocalist, and our buddy John Link was the guitarist and did like some backup vocals here and there. I think Tom did backup vocals too. Um, but rest in peace, John. Um, I would go to Tom's shows and it would be like just in his backyard. There'd be a bonfire. His dad would be inside chilling with Aunt Pig, his sister, and out back there'd just be like a bunch of random bands playing that you've never fucking heard of, and Tom's band that everyone in the area like loved because it was like they're like the local hero punk band, right? Um, but I got to see like some of my favorite bands ever play at these little tiny venues that I never would have expected to be as cool. One of them was, all right, I got a good example for you. One, that was like an actual venue. It was called the Shack. It was in Virginia. I want to say Richmond or Arlington or some shit. It was one of the bigger cities. Um, it was called the Shack. It was quite literally some kid's parents' garage that they let him run it as a venue.
That's cool.
And it was cool as fuck. And dude, um, Comatose Records came out to the Shack.
Oh
Comatose
shit.
Records, if you're not a death metal or like grimy, grungy death metal, like heavy music type of person, you won't know who this is. But they just like they're like the elite um grunge, dirty death metal label. They have all the best growly, gargly bands. So, um, we're going to the Shack and not knowing what to expect because we heard Comatose Music is going to be there, but we didn't know what bands like were going to be playing or some shit. We get there, Blasphemer is playing from Italy. There's this one man band playing. I forget what they were called, or the dude was called, but I got him to like sign my acoustic guitar or some shit because it was like the only thing I had with me to sign.
Why did you bring an
Uh,
acoustic guitar to a show?
dude, it was just like in the fucking car,
Oh, okay.
and I only had an acoustic at the time because I was poor and I'd like sold all my electric guitars to try to move or some bullshit. I'm always going through some shit. I'm an Aquarius. But fuck, I forget what that goddamn band was called. It's going to drive me nuts now. But anyway, we saw a bunch of really incredible bands and we had the night of our lives, man. Like I was as
Was it
close
Putrid
to
Pile? Putrid Pile or like
no, you're getting
there's an
close though.
there's another.
You remember that guy Sean Whitaker that had that song or had that band
Did he have glasses?
yeah, and he was bald.
I know what you're talking about. It's like in something
Yeah, he had the fucking
it
he
was
had
like
these crazy
Insidious.
long fucking Insidious
Yeah,
Decrepancy.
there you
Yes.
go. I
Insidious
I'm so
Decrepancy.
happy we were able to figure it out.
That's not the band that I saw, but
Oh,
it
damn
was
it.
it was along the lines of like that.
Yeah.
It was one word, whatever the band name was. But anyway, really awesome one man slam band, if that helps. And got to see him, and I was from here to the microphone, this close, practically kissing the fucking vocalist because the stage was a pallet that people were standing on. Um, and you've got the fucking drummer of Blasphemer in these like 25-inch boots that go all the way past his knees. They're like that tall, and they've got like a 6-inch platform on them, and he's playing double foot pedal with his kicks. Fucking crazy as shit. And Bill's like, how the fuck is he doing this? And everyone else is like, oh, he's just using those boots as weight and all this bullshit and all that blah blah
Oh,
blah.
it's triggered.
Oh yeah, oh he's just triggered, but bullshit. They were just triggered because it was so fucking sick. Um, but yeah, I was so close to the goddamn vocalist; it was practically spitting in my face, and I was loving it, man. It was the best. I've never been to such a personal show like that ever since. Um, I don't know. That one was pretty sick, and it got me into like wanting to write more music because at the time I was playing guitar and doing vocals, but I wasn't doing shit with them. And I'd been in a couple of bands and I jammed with my brother all the time because he's a drummer, but I never did anything significant with my music, and I
Yeah.
still haven't. I did like a little tiny one man band project I called Casket. Um,
Nice.
and if you go on SoundCloud and search Casket 279, you can still hear the like 4 songs that I recorded on my iPhone 3 in my Ford Ranger. You heard that
Ford fucking
correctly.
Ranger.
And all of the drums, bass, and everything was edited on a iPhone on GarageBand and programmed. All of the vocals and guitar are me, but it's horribly edited. Like the drums don't line up right. Like it's all like just shit. It's bullshit. But it was fun, and I loved it, and I still love to listen to it. I like it, which is why I feel like the only reason I've wanted to make music was because I liked it. I wanted to get it out of my head. But
Yeah. Get
that's
it out
what
of your
music,
system.
I don't know. That music does that for me. Like it gets me out of my head. And it gets me craving fun parts of life again,
Yeah.
and wanting to have more moments. And I honestly wasn't that hype about the Fallout Boy and Jimmy Eat World show that Julie and I went to, because I'm not a huge Jimmy Eat World fan, and I was like worried that Fallout Boy wasn't going to play any songs that I knew. And we did leave early because they barely played any songs that we knew. But I actually loved Jimmy Eat World, and I'm going to be listening to them a lot more now because they're incredible live. And Fallout Boy played some of my, like, two of my favorite songs from them that I've heard for like ever. Um, so that was cool to hear them play it live finally, because I'd never seen them live.
Did they play some of the, like, obviously they're gonna play the new stuff. Did they play the older stuff, like Under the Cork Tree stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
um,
obviously they're gonna play like Sugar Going Down Swinging and
yeah, they played that. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. We stayed for like 6 Fallout Boy songs,
oh damn.
and they played for like 2.5 hours, I've heard.
Well, they got like
So
tons of stuff, but you also saw
I
them.
only liked their first 2 or 3 albums. Like,
Me
Under the
too.
Cork Tree is the last album of theirs that I like. Everything
Yeah,
after that, I fucking cannot stand it.
me
It just
neither.
sounds like radio poppy bullshit. I'm sorry. I know there's so many people out there that are hardcore fans. Look, one of my best friends, Julie, she's a hardcore fan. Obviously, she's the one who bought the tickets to go. But um,
But you and I grew
there's
up
something
like,
about his voice
yeah,
and the production and the it just sounds generic. I don't know. I
yeah,
just fucking hate it. But yeah, we grew up with a different Fallout Boy.
we did.
We
Like, I
didn't grow
can't
out with
listen
this fucking ripping off the monster shit.
like there's also something about like stadium shows that it's just not the same type of energy, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
you're right.
refuse to go to stadiums or arenas. Uh, I would much prefer going to like the stuff that you're talking about, going to garages and like
Something
VFWs and
intimate.
stuff like that. Yeah, or like First Union churches, like shit like that, where the lights are completely on. Like they're just more fun. Like I went to go see
They are.
Slipknot a while back, and I was actually really surprised how much fun it was just to like headbang in the bleachers, but also super surprised how much Slipknot I remembered. And I left that show like with like a newfound or reinvigorated love for Slipknot. Cause dude, those songs are awesome. And anyone who says that Slipknot is like beginner stuff, like entry band stuff, like grow up. If it wasn't for Slipknot, you probably wouldn't even be into this music if you're our age.
I don't know about that, but because
You're
I,
not a
for
Slipknot fan?
one, I will say this. There are many bands that I hate, but Slipknot is the number one. I
Why?
hate.
Now I need to know
Look,
why.
look, it's not them, it's me. And I will reason with you. Um, I think that they're great musicians, and I think that all of them are really talented people individually. I don't like them playing together. I don't like the music they make together. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. I feel like maybe it's just too chaotic.
It's
There's
like a
not a
sensory
good rhythm
overload.
for me, and
Yeah.
to be honest with you, it gives me it's because I associated people in high school and, like, middle school and shit that bullied me and that I didn't like. They would listen to that and, like, live for Slipknot, like,
Yeah.
everything
They
they
were
ever did
maggots.
was Slipknot, yeah, like, and they'd, like, wear the masks and shit, and collect them and draw them and all this shit. So I like associated it with like that too. So that put a sour taste in my mouth. And
Yeah,
there was a couple of like, what was it, Stone Sour, that the vocalist had a side project.
yeah.
Yeah, so there was a couple of those songs that came out that were singles that I liked when I was in like middle school and shit. Um, but to be honest with you, I just never got in them. I think it was out of spite. And now when I hear it, I just skip it because it irks me. It's one of those like misophonic things that just triggers me to be like, fuck this. And
Ooh, good
Diggy's the
word.
same exact way, which is kind of funny. He'll be um like we're the same way in certain aspects when it comes to like, if you don't know what misophonia is, look it up. But there are certain things that will just make me get irrationally angry. And one of them is just listening to something that I can't stand. And so when I listen to something that I can't stand, it just internally, like my skin's crawling. And Diggy's the same way. So if Slipknot comes on, we both are like, we stop what we're doing, like fucking turn it. If Avenged Sevenfold comes on, he looks up immediately. He's like, fuck this, turn it. And look, I like two Avenged Sevenfold albums. Their first two, I like the
Unholy
Seven Sounds of the
Confessions.
Seven Trumpets and Waken the Fallen. I like those two
Yeah.
albums. And then Unholy Confessions is where I started not liking it. That and all the shit after is garbage to me.
Oh, I
Um,
thought Unholy Confessions is like the first one. The
that I think that album's called Waking the Fallen.
oh,
I think
we're old.
I
It's
think
it's
that
like
the album is called Waking the Fallen. I think that Unholy Confessions may be one of the songs on it.
that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. No, Unholy Confessions is a song, but you're thinking of the one with like Backcountry, or I'm thinking of the
No,
one
no,
with
no,
like
I'm thinking
Backcountry. I'm
yeah,
thinking of the one with like Backcountry. You're
I'm
thinking
thinking
of the
back when
right
they were
one.
like straight up metalcore, like back
You're
when
thinking of
Atreyu was.
their second album.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
Atreyu, oh my god, same. I fucking love Atreyu.
me too.
But anyways, we both can't stand listening to any other newer stuff. And he did the same thing with Avenged that I did with Slipknot, and associated people that he didn't like with that band because people he didn't like listen to it. So it put a sour taste in his mouth. Um, and there's a lot of bands that both Tony and Diggy like that I can't stand, that I like. They have to almost like, when we're picking music, they have to look at me because I'm the autistic one. They have to look at me and be like what Jackie will be like, "What do you want me to play, Dad?" And he'll be like,
Grateful Dead.
how's Anti-Flag?" And I'll be like, "No, I fucking hate Anti-Flag. That guy's voice." And he's like, "Oh, okay. How's Rise Against?" I'm like, "I fucking hate Rise Against too. He has the same kind of
No,
voice." He's like, "Oh, fucking
that like nasally pop punk voice.
Sublime." I'm like, "Sublime's good." Or like today, I forget what he said. He said like, "You guys want to listen to blah blah blah? Do you like that?" And Jackie goes, "I don't know. Do we?" Looks at me and I was like, "Play whatever you want, guys. I'm just gonna fucking tattoo over here." And it makes me feel like such an asshole. And it is a dick move to like control the music like that. But it's like, it's a misophonic thing that it literally makes my skin crawl when I listen to something that like, there's certain notes and frequencies that just fuck with me, and certain people's voices have it, and
Yeah,
certain types of production have it, and
I
it
know
just
what you
makes me
mean.
like,
Like,
grind my teeth, chalk nail on a chalkboard.
so I'm like really sensitive when it comes to music, right? And I'm very, very open minded. But there's certain things that I cannot stand, like Dave Matthews Band, for example. So Dave Matthews Band is one of them. There's this guy named Citizen Cope. I hate his voice with a burning passion. And just like that coffee house shit, just stuff like that. I just feed off of energy. Like if the band has like wicked energy, like I'm probably gonna like them, you know? And then when you see
Yeah.
it live and you get to experience like the full thing, it's so much better. Like
Let me ask you
I've
this.
seen Newfound Glory a couple times. Every time I after the show, I feel like I'm on drugs. Like I just feel so alive. And so Celeste bought us tickets to go see Newfound Glory. Uh, and it was an acoustic set. And I was kind of wary about it because even though I like their acoustic albums, I was kind of skeptical because A, how does it translate? B, Chad Gilbert wasn't there. And C, it was at an opera house, which is so strange. So I was like, oh, so we're going to be sitting down?
Can you, real quick, can you tell me in your corporate John voice, can you say Chad Gilbert's not going to be there?
Sure. Give me 1 second. So let me circle back. And just to reiterate that Chad Gilbert was not there, but Newfound Glory was able to give us our time back.
Okay.
How was that? Was that
That was,
scary?
it sounded the same. That's the scary part. It
Oh, you
sounded
should
the
hear me
same.
in my boyfriend voice, bro.
Oh, I don't want to take my pants off. Don't make me do it on camera.
Oh, I
Don't say
hate that you
anything
asked me.
sexy.
Dude, I hate that you asked me to do corporate voice because that stuff, like, I have like a huge identity crisis because it's not
So, but
me.
we are gonna get our time back.
Oh,
That was good. That was good.
but
Anyways, so I
dude,
have a
I,
question.
yeah, I may have answers.
Tell me, give me a moment during a show where you were just entranced in that moment and you can still put yourself in it.
That I can close my eyes and I'm transported back to it.
You can
Explosions in the sky.
literally just think of it, close your eyes, bam, you're right
Yep,
fucking there. I can feel the people around me, the lights, everything when I think
bro.
about it.
You're talking about, I got goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
Oh, that's crazy. That's so
Explosions in the
crazy.
sky, bro. Summer of 2009 in Central
Great
Park.
Destroyer.
No, explosions in the sky.
Oh, 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 oh.
It was one of the most beautiful like concerts I've ever been to. It was raining. We got an alert saying that the show may be canceled because of a thunderstorm. So, but I was already there because I forgot who was opening. There was a bunch of other post rock bands, and I was just vibing out, just drinking beers, like $40 beers. Uh, and I think I may have only had like two. So just to give you reference of state of mind, and Explosion of the Sky came on, and they were playing, I forgot what song they were playing, and it was still raining, and all of a sudden they transitioned into Catastrophe and the Curse, and the skies opened up and the sun came out, and it was fucking beautiful. And I just closed my eyes for most of the show and just kind of just swayed around and danced around because that shit is just awesome. It's like what like, do you know the band Sigur Rós? So
Nope.
they're another kind of post rocky band from, I want to say, Iceland, and they played a show in front of the Northern Lights. So with the aurora borealis and shit
Oh,
like that in the
wow.
background.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So I would imagine like it was maybe like one pube hair in comparison to that.
One
My
pube hair
experience.
comparison. Dude, that sounds like an incredible show, man. I've had many moments in shows like that where I was just like taken over and you're like, holy shit. It's like those moments of consciousness when you're a kid, when you pop out for a second, sometimes you go back in for a little while. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
where you were like, oh shit, I realize everything's going on right now. And
it's such an
sometimes that
overwhelming
happens
feeling.
to us in life when like so many things are going on. We're going through the motions for so long, like especially when you're working for other people and you have like a kind of a mundane job, that can happen a lot, where one day you just kind of like snap out of that and you're like, oh, fuck all this, like blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
there were many moments and many concerts, but one band that does it for me every single fucking time is Suffocation, and they are from Brooklyn, baby. Suffocate, exactly. Oh, fucking Mike or fucking Frank Mullen
Frank.
doing this shit. Uh, Mike Smith on the drums. Well, he's not anymore, but the lineup that I used to see was Frank Mullen, Mike Smith, Terrence Hobbs, Derek something, and I forget the other guy's name. I forget the
The
other
second
guitarist's name. I
guitar player
think
with the
it's
curly
Michael
hair.
something.
I think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bass
yeah.
player is Derek Boyer. He used
Derek.
to
Yeah, yeah,
play
yeah. Boyer,
bass
that's
for
it.
Decrepit Birth.
Yes, and I've gotten to see them play too, and they're super sick live.
Dude, they're so
Um,
good live.
and he played bass with them because they were on tour together. But anyways, there
Frank
are
Mullen doesn't play in
moments.
Suffocation anymore, but do you know who sings for them now?
Who?
Rick Myers from Disgorge.
Oh my
It's
god,
this yeah, Rick Myers who
bro!
sang on
Cranial
Consumer.
Impalement, was he on
That's the one.
Cranial Impalement? Oh
No, no,
my
no, 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 no,
god!
no. It's not that singer. It's the Parallels of
Infinite
uh y-
Mortality.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Parallels
one.
of Infinite Mortality. That's a fucking crazy album too.
That one's
Wow.
so good.
Dude, speaking of crazy vocalists like that, did you ever listen to now I'm gonna fucking forget their name. Hold on, I almost got it. Um they're a German band that their name starts with a D as well. I'm gonna look it up real quick because it's gonna bug me. Um, but that's crazy that the Disgorge vocalist is with Suffocation now. What happened to Frank?
I think he's retired because he's old,
Just
man.
old.
They're all
Yeah, I mean
old.
he's probably in his 50s now. They did it over 25 years. I got to
Yeah,
see them during their like 20th anniversary tour or some shit, which was pretty
yeah.
fucking sick, not gonna lie. It was
I'm
amazing.
I'm like still impressed that like bands like Cannibal Corpse are still doing it and they still kill it every single show.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Obituary
Oh,
is still really good.
the band I was thinking of is Defeated Sanity.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Fucking insane. But during a Suffocation show, let me just put you in the moment. Let me give you some um let me try to put you in the moment and give you the vibe. So you're in close your eyes, you're in a dark club, you're under 21 and can't drink, so you got as stoned on your one hitter as you could off the mid grades that you had like maybe a gram of that you stole from your brother. um, you maybe chugged a beer and took a resin hit of a bong out of a bong in the alley with some dude that you don't know if that was even weed, and Suffocation's about to come on. They're going to play one of your favorite songs, and during the breakdown, instead of it playing at normal time, they're going to fucking halftime it, and instead of it being like din 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 din, they're going to be like din 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 din, and as they do that, the strobe lights boom 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 and the lights follow it, and the kick of the drum and all the toms hitting at once and all of the subs hitting you in the chest, and you feel every single dun 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 in your fucking chest, and then Frank coming out of nowhere, oh, fucking just screaming the craziest shit. The strobe lights keep coming. You look around and everyone is just fucking going crazy, and you feel like as you look around, it looks like you're in an insane asylum, and everyone is trying to fucking break out. And this is the theme song to it. Everyone's just fucking going nuts. And it's because everyone's letting go of their inhibitions and just enjoying the moment and putting themselves there and feeling it. They're letting their music fucking take them over. And that is my favorite part about shows where you go to see a band that you've loved forever and they kill it. And I've seen Suffocation so many times, man. I could put myself in the situation in my head where they have those white strobe lights coming with every chunky riff.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 and you're just like, fuck. It's the sickest shit ever, man. Doesn't get better.
Yeah, I've seen them quite a few times too, and every time they play like Effigy of the Forgotten, I get so excited.
Oh,
And like and
oh
like
my
I
god,
like some of
yes.
their newer stuff too. I remember getting super excited when they played Bind Torture Kill. Oh,
Oh, that is such a good song,
yeah.
dude. Seeing them play that live is so good too. Honestly, I stopped listening to them after Blood Oath. Um,
Yeah.
I think they came out with one more album with Mike, and then after that, they didn't have anything with him. Or if they came out with another album with him, I don't think they did. I think Blood Oath was the last one, but I
I
could be
didn't even
wrong.
know that Mike didn't
I'm
play
probably
drums for them
wrong.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he may now, but I
Yeah.
know there for a while he didn't because he is the inventor of the blast beat,
Yeah,
if you
pretty
didn't know
much.
that.
One of them. Yeah.
Well, he's the inventor of one of the blast beats.
Yeah. I mean, they
So,
are one of the inventors of slam for sure.
oh,
Like, without
100%.
Suffocation, slam wouldn't exist the way it does now.
100%. And that's something that I feel like true metalheads would know, that the argument that Mike Smith makes is not that he created blast beats, it's that he created his blast beat, which
He
is
hits hard, bro.
they hit very hard, and it's that certain tempo that Frank always does with his hand like
Yeah.
that. It's a certain tempo, they hit super fucking hard. They don't sound hollow at
Yeah.
all. They're just like so fucking full, man.
It doesn't sound like
Ugh.
overproduced, it sounds human. Like a human is doing it, not like these bands
Yes.
today where it sounds like it's a fucking machine.
He beats the shit out of his drums, and that dude's jacked. So he actually
Huge.
has across his chest in giant cursive, "blasphemous," uh,
Nice.
because he,
I'd expect
claims
nothing
to
less.
have, you know, invented that blast beat. But yeah, them, Napalm Death, and I want to say, what was that other band? Fuck, um, Suffocation, Napalm Death,
We may have gone
and
to the same tour.
Obituary.
Yeah, I think
Are,
we were at
no,
the
no, no,
same
no, no.
show.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that those are the 3 bands that get credited a lot
Oh,
for, creating blast beats.
yeah.
Napalm Death, especially because 'cause they're like the OG grindcore.
Dude, they're so
um
good too.
Oh my god, yes. Dude, I've seen them live and didn't expect them to be as good as they were, and they were just on tour with someone that I wanted to see, and I was like, "Cool." It was fucking incredible, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, being at a Suffocation show, there's nothing like it. If I ever get to tour, if they ever tour again with Frank, I'll go see him. I won't see him without Frank. Well, no, I'd see him without Frank. It just wouldn't be like seeing Suffocation. It'd still be a
Yeah.
great show, though. That other
Yeah.
vocalist is sick.
No, he sounds great. And I think they still do home shows. Like Frank will come out and do home shows when they're in Long Island. That's where
Oh,
they're
dude,
from, Long Island.
that'd be the time to go. Oh, okay. I thought they were
Yeah.
from Brooklyn. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Frank does have that Long Island, that Coney Island, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or not Coney Island. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do know what you're saying.
That kind of accent.
I did merch for Suffocation in Boston at the Middle East when my buddy opened for them, and he 100% has that. Like, he sounds like a cop. He sounds like a New York City
Oh,
cop.
yeah. 100%. He literally sounds like you could say anything a cop would say, and I can picture Frank saying it. It's
He
fucking
also looks like a
hilarious.
cop.
Yeah, he's bald. He doesn't have any facial hair.
Yeah.
He does look like a cop, you're right. If you're bald and you don't have any facial hair, you look like a fucking cop.
All right, so
Just saying.
I have a question because I know. Okay, so we've both been to one show. Like we've seen one of the same artist. Um, how did you feel when you went to go see Post Malone?
I loved it. Both times.
Oh, you went to see him twice?
I saw him at PPG Arena,
Hmm.
and I saw him at I want to say it's called like Star Lake or some bullshit like that.
Okay,
I don't really know, but
that's what's.
one was an indoor, one was an outdoor arena, and I've really liked the indoor better. And I was going to say this earlier when you were talking about arenas and stuff and how you don't like them. I like them when it comes to seeing like solo artists, because most of the time when I'm seeing a solo artist, it's a rapper, and I don't really give a shit about seeing them up close. I'm usually going to see them just for shits and giggles for a fun night, and it's like a date or something. I typically don't go see like solo artists by myself almost ever. If Dallas Green toured by himself, I'd go see him. Noah Gunderson, Ben Andrews, I'd go see them. But they have people that travel with them and have like a band.
Yeah,
You know, like City and Color is Dallas's thing. And there's been times where he
he's
traveled
so
with
good
just
with
like
his band
one
though.
person. But oh my god, dude, I've gotten to see him live, and he will just melt your soul. That man is the devil. I figured it out because he
Yeah,
has the voice of an angel. And it doesn't matter who you are, if you hear this man sing, you want to fuck him immediately. You're just like, all right, which way we doing this? Am I fucking you? You fucking me? What's going on?
'Cause I'm coming home.
But anyways, what was I talking about? One man shows, Post
yeah,
Malone. No, I think seeing a solo artist at a arena school, because they have like um the pyrotechnics and shit they can do. They can have like the stages that move around and do shit. So they have their place, but I agree with you. I would much rather be to a super intimate personal show where you're like, dude, I got to mosh with Blasphemer after they played and that one man band was playing.
yeah.
Their vocalist and guitarist were like fucking elbowing me in the ribs and shit and like punching me in the fucking face, and like we were fucking each other up, and it was all out of fun. It was literally all, they're straight out of Italy, and like I remember I asked him to play one more song, and he goes, "Fuck you, we are Italian." And I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And he goes, "We're lazy." And I was like, "Oh my god, okay." And then later they're like moshing with me, and he was like, "It's all out of fun, brother. We love you." And I was like, "Yeah."
Damn,
Uh,
bro, you let him show us up? Come on.
oh, I was fucking them up too. It was me and Bill versus them. He thought they were like trying to fight me, and I was like, "No, we're just having fun. We're just like drunk fighting. It's just what
Yeah,
guys do sometimes. You just like fucking each other up." Like my buddy
I know
Tom,
all
I'm
about
gonna talk
that.
about him like the whole episode, I guess. Uh, yeah, is that why your hands like that?
Yep.
Um, I guess I'll talk about him again. Uh, we used to do this thing, especially when John was around, where we would, you know, hang out, drink a bunch of beers, drink a basket of beers or so, and an Easter basket of beers, and we would just like go out in the yard and be like, "Fuck you," and just like punch him in the shoulder really hard or something. They'd be like, "Well, fuck you." And then we just start doing that and punching each other in the yard. And next thing you know, you're like rolling down the yard, fucking punching each other in the kneecaps and shit. It wasn't ever like in the face or like hitting each other hard enough to like break anything.
Yeah, it's just love
But we would
taps.
just, well, they were a little more than that, because there were times where I was like, all right, John, you're going to like break my fucking ribs. Uh, and he liked to punch motherfuckers in the kneecaps. Like, oh, you would walk into the living room and he would just sucker punch you in the kneecap. It was the most annoying fucking thing. Rest in peace, John, but god damn you. Um,
Dude, he sounds like a fun time.
dude,
I
yeah,
think he and I would get along.
he was the coolest. Look, can I tell you real quick how I met him?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I was I was hanging out with Tom. We met in high school. He put his number in my phone at lunch one day because he had a car and had a band and smoked weed. So I was like, yo, and we met in gym class. And he was like, I got a cell phone and I got a car here. I have parties and shit. I'll hit you up sometime. I was like, cool. So he texted me like that night and was like, yo, what are you doing? I said, nothing. I hit up Bill. Bill came over to my house, got a ride from his brother, and then Tom came picked us up with John, and we get to Tom's house, and I didn't talk to them like the whole way. I'm like terrified. I'm like, I don't know these people that well. Like I know uh, Tom somewhat from like gym class, but I've never hung out with him like outside of school. I know Bill well. We're just in the back seat, like whatever. We're like drinking 40s and shit on the way there, right? And John is Tom's driving this old Buick, and John is in the passenger seat, and he's drinking a Mickey's, and he rolls down the window and fucking smashes it into the pavement on the highway as Tom's driving, and I'm like, these fucking guys are crazy. Like this is fun. We get to Tom's house, and like we're smoking some weed and shit, and I can say this now because he's not here, and it's funny, but he stole some weed. John stole some weed from his mom that she grew called Green Goblin. And
Nice.
he sold me some Green Goblin. That's how I met him pretty much. He like sold me some weed, and then they had a defeat the purpose practice, which is super cool. And I got to like see behind the scenes of that and just like hang out with the dudes at the DTP house. And that was one of the first times ever that I felt like I belonged somewhere. And all the times I moved and like was shifted around and thrown from home to home and all this bullshit growing up, Tom's house was like a safe space for me always, which is why I loved it there so much and why he'll always be my brother. And his dad, I loved him so much too because he provided that atmosphere for us as kids. He provided that venue for us as kids that we could go there and like have a couple beers and get a buzz and like be socially drunk for a little bit and then like have our friends pick us up or have our parents pick us up and take us home or whatever, or like
Yeah, he was
you
the cool
know
parent.
he was the cool dad who was like he wouldn't let us get out of hand until we were older and he couldn't tell us what to do, but
Yeah.
um
What was the
you
whiskey
know
that Tom
oh
uh
yeah,
what was the
oh
whiskey that
yeah,
he
Henry
mentioned?
McKenna, baby. He loved, all right, Big Tom loved a cold Stroh's beer in his Arnhart koozie that had the big three and a bunch of cigarette burns on it. I'm sorry, cigar burns on it, or joint burns. He loved him a good bit of New York Bud, we called it, in his little wood pipe that had a nice little screen at the bottom, had a little twist top on it. And you'd walk in, and he liked his Maker's Mark, and if he didn't have that, couldn't afford it, or we were getting cheap shit, uh, we'd have the Henry McKenna. So you walk in, and you could literally just walk into Tom's house and Tom's dad go, "Hello?" And I'd be like, "Hey, it's Sutton." He'd go, "Hey." He'd sit down. "Want a beer? Want a shot? Want to burn one?" And you get all nice and toasty with him, and then, "So what's up?" And you just talk. And he always provided that for us, and that's what I feel like the music scene did for a lot of people. Um, it made people feel like they belonged because
Yeah.
we were all misfits, and Motley Crue, and like all these band names that like that's what it is. That's what the music scene is. It's all of us like combining and giving each other a shared space. So I don't know. That's what made me fall in love with music and shows and intimate shows like that. Those small shows. That's why I like them
Yeah.
better. Like you said.
No, like when I go to hardcore shows or like pop punk or definitely death metal shows, it feels like I belong and like I'm one of them. And there's just something that feels safe even though it's not a safe environment, you know? And that's where like like Celeste, I joke about it with Celeste now because I always tell people that she catfished me because when I met her,
How?
she came over uh to my house and she was wearing, I still remember it, she was wearing this like dark green Idols Staten Island, this band from Staten Island, Idols, and it was like Idols Staten Island hardcore, and I was like, hell yeah, finally landed myself a hardcore girlfriend. Nope. Nope. Because we went to a bunch of shows and she was not feeling it. And she was really more of like a she's always been more of my chaperone, which is fine. You know, I don't expect people to like I don't expect the person I'm with to like go in and throw down with me, you
Yeah,
know?
just hang out with me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
just
asking you to get in the
just
pit,
vibe. Yeah. But she lets me
but
do
if you
my
want
own
to.
thing and it's pretty funny these days. Like we went to a knuckle puck show and
It's just fun to say.
Kanukapook
Kanyakal-jak.
and she was like hanging out with like the moms and the dads, like the true chaperones. And I'm like, "Hey babe, hold my sweatshirt."
She's like, "Yeah, sure. Make sure you drink some water." You're like, "Oh yeah, here, give me back my water." You take a sip, and then you pass it back to her.
Dude, the parents were not thrilled when I was like, "Hey babe, can you hold this? I'm going to go wreck some kids."
Oh my god, I can just
But
imagine they're like, "Hey, that's my kid. Can you hit him a little harder? He's been a piece of shit lately."
I know he fucking made me go to the show. But speaking of healing qualities, here's a great story. So 2013 or something like that, Warp Tour. It was Bring Me the Horizon headlining, and then the story so far afterwards. I
Hell yeah.
went there specifically for those two bands. Like those were at the top list of the bands I wanted to go to. The girl I was seeing at the time, we go to see Bring Me the Horizon. She's starting to feel uncomfortable. Totally respect that. I understand that. You know, like people be fucking going crazy for Bring Me the Horizon. This is when they did like Wall of Death and stuff like that. And so she was having an anxiety attack and I was like, all right, let's go back to the hotel then. If you don't want to stay anymore, we'll go. Also, this girl was so manipulative. Fast forward a couple years later, and I'm now with Celeste, and we are going to see 4 Years Strong. I forgot the other bands that were there, maybe the Menzingers. And the story so far, we're headlining.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and so we're upstairs, and I'm trying to be like the model boyfriend. I was like, let's, we'll just watch from the balcony. It's fine. And I'm fucking vibing, and I had to tell Celeste, like, Celeste, I have to do this. I have to do this for like the time that I lost because of this fucking bitch. I have to go down. I went down there and I fucking sang my heart out with all of these pop punk bros and I had the best time. You know, it was just like just tons of hugs, singing along, just look like a bunch of dudes who've been like had their hearts broken, just singing out all these like super bitter pop punk lyrics.
I
And
fucking love that, man. That's so
yeah,
healing.
and that was the like the nail in the coffin and I was able to move on after that, you know? Cuz I was like I gave up going to go see one of my favorite bands because this girl like got way in too deep with something she wasn't, you know, into and then by the way, we went there for free thanks to no bragging rights for getting us in to Warp Tour. So it's like, eh. Anyway, but I healed from that, and it was an amazing feeling.
I love that, man. That's really cool. Um, give me um, give me a lyric from one of your favorite bands, or just one of your favorite lyrics that always, every time you hear it and you're singing along to it, that you're like, oh man, like that lyric, I fucking love. Like that hits me. That's a really fucking good lyric. The one that I connect with, the one example I have is it's a My Chem lyric from Three Cheers. Um and I think it's at the end of Cemetery Drive where he says, "This hole you put me in wasn't deep enough and I'm crawling out right now." And I
Mhm.
fucking love the way he says it too. The way he says it leads up so great. Like it's just amazing. one of my all-time favorite bands. I was actually just talking to a homie of ours that listens to the podcast and subscribes to our Patreon, that also tattoos as well, and about My Chem, and that's her favorite band. And I was like, yeah, it used to be my favorite band until I found He Is Legend, and now they're my second favorite. And then it's The Used, and after that, it's really tough to say. It's probably
Okay,
a
I got a
rapper.
lyric.
Hit me,
So
hit me, hit me.
one band that I also went to see at Warped Tour is Real Friends, and they have a song called "Late Night in My Car," and lyric that I always like. I shout that shit when that song comes on. It's if I don't break, I won't know how to put myself back together again. Love that shit.
I love that. And I think it's lyrics like that for us elder emos that we connect with, because they aren't beating around the bush. They're just fucking telling you. That's it. This is it. There's not some fucking metaphor behind it. Hole you put me in wasn't deep enough. I'm getting out, motherfucker. I'm getting better. You can't stop me. I'm reborn. I'm fucking gonna do bigger, better things. I may have been down and out, but I'm not now. Like, there's so many ways you can say it, that like that lyric hits me. And like a good lyric, I feel like you get a visualization from it. You can imagine something from it. Like, uh, something Chris Barnes from Cannibal
No,
Corpse says.
no.
No, listen. Something Chris
Okay,
Barnes
okay.
says, when he was in Cannibal Corpse. I love all Chris Barnes Cannibal Corpse. I cannot stand Corpse Grinder. All of Cannibal Corpse with Corpse Grinder, can't stand it. I don't like his vocals. I think he sounds like a caveman. He sounds like Cookie Monster caveman esque. It's not good. It's not refined enough. It's not guttural enough for me. It's too generic. In the words of Squizgar Squigelf, it's too digital. And Toki Wartooth, yeah, too digital.
They're just too low.
They're just
Chris
not
Barnes,
good.
Chris Barnes was a little punchier.
Chris Barnes was, he had not only that, but he could enunciate and had good gutturals. But anyway, when he was being interviewed one time, he said, they said, like, how do you write your music? Why is it so vulgar? Blah blah blah. And he said, I try every song I write. I want the listener to listen to our music with headphones on and read the lyrics and imagine a mini horror movie in their mind. That's what I want them to see. That's what my lyrics, he's like, that's why they're so intense. That's why they're so vulgar. That's why he's like, I want them to feel something and see a mini horror movie. He's like, I kind of look at myself as like a director in that sense. And I thought that was cool. Um, and a good lyric, I feel like, does that too. It gives you a good visualization.
That I mean, I guess I was thinking of like Chris Barnes today, where he's
Like
like,
6 feet under. I don't know that. I don't know what you're talking
oh my
about.
god, I have to send it to you after the podcast. It's so bad.
Thunder knife breed, hanging from the rope. The body just twitches there.
It's the
Please
6 feet
do.
under stuff.
Oh, 6 feet under sucks. I can't stand them.
It's so
The only
bad.
song I ever liked from them was the collab song they did with, what was it, Body Bag?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Ice-T?
Oh, Body Count.
Body Count. Yeah, my bad. Oh, I was watching Metalocalypse earlier, and Body Bag is one of Nathan Explosion's comedy bits where they put on a comedy show, but they make it about hate, so they call it Hatredy. And he's like, he brings out a body bag. He's like, oh, body bag. I don't know. It's stupid. You'd have to be a Metalocalypse fan or as stupid as me to understand it. But we can talk
Clearly,
about
we
it
can talk
forever, so we can
forever.
wrap it up if you want.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's
We're
fine. Yeah,
almost at
we're almost
2
at the
hours.
2 hour mark, so might as well. Okay.
Hit him with the outro.
Hit him with the outro.
You can find us on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon. And if you want to watch the episode, you can also
OnlyFans,
find us on
Pornhub.
YouTube. So make sure to
YouTube.
subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's
Fuck
on
yeah.
Sutton's channel, the self-care, what is it?
Self-care clothing
Self-care
company.
self-care clothing company, or just search it in the search bar.
We're gonna be putting some more stuff on our Patreon soon. John just has to yell at me to edit it and get it on there. And he already has a bunch of highlights and stuff edited that we need to put on there that I've been slacking. So sorry for our subscribers that I haven't put new stuff on, but keep subscribing, please. We're going to add new stuff soon, and it's going to be very worth it. I hope you enjoyed listening to us, and I hope that music makes you feel rejuvenated in some way, in some form in your life when you listen to it. And if it doesn't, and if you didn't like listening, and I just got one thing to say. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Bitch.